Hello and welcome to the Flower Empowered. I hope that I am live. I hope that people can see me. I'm just going to check on my phone to see if everything is streaming. There we go. Yes. Okay, welcome to the Flower Empowered. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening for the launch of the book and the video course, Empower Your Flower. This has been such a very, very long time coming. I actually started writing the book on International Women's Day of 2017. So that was March the 8th, 2017. Really, really, really long time ago. And along the way, gosh, so many things have happened. But I've made it now to today. And this is what I'm here to share. I still have the stripy version. So the full version of the book without this not for resale stripe is available on Amazon right now. So there's a couple of different versions available. We have the full color version, which is this one. So you can see the images in this are in color. This is the most expensive version. So it's coming in around $90 thereabouts. This is the black and white version. So I think this is coming in around $30. And you can see that the images are not in color, but all of the images are available on empoweryourflower.com. Once you register your book, you get access to the color images, you get audio meditations, you get to download all of the sequence sheets. So I did show some of the sequence sheets earlier, but each of these sequence sheets basically take you through all of the exercises that are in the movement or the relaxation modules and the advanced breathing modules of the 8-phase training. So it's an 8-phase training program that is in the book. So part 1 covers knowledge, talks about basically the business of the body's movement, how everything is working and how the patterns in your body, in your mind and in your life can impact your pelvic floor. And this is foundational knowledge. If you're to be able to make changes, you need to first understand what is going on and how everything works together. So I personally think it's very interesting, just how the body works and how very interconnected everything is. So I hope you find that part of the book very interesting. Part 2 then is the training, and everything is in here. So the book has breathing, pelvic floor exercises, movement exercises, so in the form of yoga, relaxation in the form of yin yoga and restorative yoga. And then you also have the meditations and the mind exercises. And combined together at each different level, all of these different components work together to try to help you to overcome your pelvic floor dysfunction. I'm just going to apologize for the background noise. I am in Florence, Italy, and there are lots of little motorcycles and cars going past. So maybe we'll get some church bells in a wee while as well. Anyhow, I digress. So the video course is also live at the moment. So if you go to empoweryourflower.com, you'll be able to click through there to get to the video course, which is on Teachable. So if you're already on the Teachable platform, you should be able to find it there. The video course is the 8-phase training, but in video form. So if you have bought the book and you're working through the 8-phase training and you feel that you could maybe benefit from doing a video version, then the video course would be for you. And on the video course, we have explainer videos. So before each exercise session, you can find out exactly why you're doing the different movements that you're going to do, or the different meditations, breathing exercises, etc. And then you can follow through. And the exercise sequences are between 20 and 30 minutes usually. So the video will allow you to just knock out the practice rather than having to listen to me waffle on like I do on YouTube. So I tried to make it so that it would be really time efficient for you, because I know when I was trying to deal with my own pelvic floor dysfunction, one of the biggest challenges that I had was finding the time to be able to deal with the issues. So I'm really hoping that that's going to be helpful. So the video course is going to have a discount until the 1st of November. You get a 20% discount if you use the code 20%. There's a little ticker running along the bottom of the screen that can tell you a little bit about that. I want to just give a little shout out to Chuma-san in Ito. He's in Ito Physiotherapy in Japan, and he gave me some years ago this little guy that is a Daruma doll from Japan, so on one of my last trips. And this is what you use whenever you set yourself a goal. And I had set myself the goal of the book, so I got to put one little eye on him, and I'm now going to get to put the other eye on. So I'm very glad to do this with everybody watching. So here we go. It's done. Oh my God, I can't believe it's finished. It has been, yes, it has been a huge project, absolutely massive. But I know that many of you have been with me along this journey. So there's quite a few of you that I have been coaching, and I'm sorry that I paused all the coaching while I tried to finish everything up. We will be resuming the coaching very soon. I know there's quite a few of you that are on the wait listing for the coaching. I have actually opened some new coaching slots that are available. Also, if you go to empoweryourflower.com, you'll be able to click through there to book the online coaching. And for everybody that's on the wait list, I will be contacting you. So don't worry, you're not going to miss your slot. I'll make sure everybody that is on the list gets a slot. So, okay. I also now just want to do the raffle. So I'm going to share, I've just got a random number generator. Let me just see if I can share the screen that has that. How do I do that? If I click on this and let's see. I'm going to share the random number generator. I hope you all have your numbers ready. This is the exciting part where somebody's going to, now I just need to make sure that, can you still hear me? If you just can put a comment there, somebody, to let me know that I'm still being heard. No? Can you hear me? Maybe not. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thanks. Brilliant. All right. So let me just go to the other screen for a second so that I can. So we have 2,045 people registered their interest. So you all have a number. I'm going to hit generate. The first video course goes to number 942. I'm just writing these down. Let's just go. Can you see the video? Can you see this? Oh no. If you can't see it, then let me see. Can somebody just confirm that you can see the video? Let me see. Still hearing me? Okay, let's just keep going. I'm going to keep going with random numbers. So the next number is 1929. So if you got that number, then you're in luck. And I don't think you guys can see what I'm sharing on the screen. I'm just going to keep going anyway. The next number is 1422. 422. The fourth is 1730. And the fifth and final number is 972. Okay, let me see. I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm back. But did I even disappear is the question. Okay, we have some questions here. So the price of the book, it depends on whether you're going to get the there's a Kindle version that is, I think, about $20. There's a black and white version that's around the $30 mark, and there is a color version that is around the $90 mark. Now, I know in the different countries that there's tax applied, so it's a little bit different depending on which country. And I can't see all the different, I'd have to go in and onto all the stores and check. So just if you go to empoweryourflower.com, there are links there, so you can click on buy my book on Amazon, and it should actually take you to your local store. If you have trouble finding the book, then you can just send me a message. You can either contact me through empoweryourflower.com or through the flowerempowered.com, either of those. I will put some links after this into the description with the links to the book and the links to the video course, so you'll be able to get access to all of that. So Liz, you couldn't see my screen. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, I pulled the numbers. So the numbers are 942-1929-1422-1730 and 972. And I will be sending an email to everybody who had a number pulled. And for everybody else that has registered your interest, you should have, well, you get the 20% discount if you want to do the video course, and the book is available on Amazon. So that's all really. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the book, or maybe I should tell you a little bit about the symptom management strategies. So there's part 3 of the book has a huge amount of information on all of the conditions that fall under, should we say, the symptoms that fall under the umbrella term pelvic floor dysfunction. So if you have incontinence, overactive bladder, retention, so those are urinary symptoms, or like a mixed variety where you have multiples of these different symptoms. And then you have pelvic organ prolapse, there's chronic pelvic pain, there's a lot of the sexual dysfunctions, so vaginismus, dyspareunia. All of those are covered in the symptom management strategies section. And there's a lot of advice as well on what you can do with regards to your life patterns. So at the beginning of part 2, you do an assessment, basically, where you assess your life and you create a baseline. So you have a look and you see what's going on in the pelvic floor, what's going on in the body, what's going on in life, what's going on in the mind. And we take all of that information and we use that to decide at which point of the training the pelvic floor is ready for. And that is basically where you decide what level you're going to place most of your focus on. But regardless of which level you select, you should start with the first level, because we base the training on the pelvic floor, but it really makes sense to see, okay, but is my body ready for that? Is my mind ready for that? Like, there are so many exercises that are like tools that you will have if you go through those earlier phases, and you'll have those with you as you move forward with life. And then with the symptom management strategies, you use some of the assessments to help decide which strategies might be helpful for you. So, I mean, it was an awful lot of work. This has taken every faculty of my brain to be able to pull all of this together. I really do hope that it helps. It is very heavily based on what I had to do myself to regain my continence and to restore my pelvic floor that was in an absolute terrible state after everything that it went through with the mesh and everything else. And the part 3 of the book also goes through all of the research behind mesh and explains why, in my opinion, it isn't such a good idea to put plastic into the body. So if you are thinking about mesh, you should maybe review that before you go under the knife. The book, yes, I can show you the book. So let me show you the color version. I like the color version. It's a hefty book. So it starts with a little dedication to my kids. We have the table of contents will kind of take you through all of the different things that are going to be in the book. And this is how the 8 phases are broken down. So you have pelvic floor modules that help to optimize the pelvic floor. And now pelvic floor dysfunction is a dysfunction generally of either hypertonicity or hypotonicity. And what this training aims to do is to rebalance tension in the body. So to bring the pelvic floor from a hypertonic or hypotonic state back into a balanced state where the resting length of the muscle is optimal. And that's really what makes the difference. And once you understand why and you figure that out, then it becomes much, much easier to be able to deal with the issues. And then breathing. So obviously there's a very, very close connection between the pelvic floor and the breathing diaphragm and the core. Everything is working together. So by checking the breathing and seeing how the breathing function is and getting the breath to move properly, getting the diaphragm to be as flexible as it should be, and the pelvic floor, get everything moving. That helps both for conditions of hypertonicity and hypotonicity. So each module has a phase for pelvic floor, for breathing, and then for movement. Now, even if your condition is a hypertonic condition, you will benefit from doing the movement exercises. So there are a lot of movements that help to rebalance tension in other muscles. If you have pelvic floor dysfunction, then that is generally an indication that the system is somehow out of balance, which means that potentially your hamstrings or your glutes or your core or something else isn't doing its job, which is why the pelvic floor is either overloaded or underutilized. So it really makes sense to rebalance the whole body. It is a unity. So, and then we have relaxation, and this is a big part of rebalancing tension in the body, is a yin yoga, which is what we use, where you relax into a little bit of discomfort in some of the tissues to allow your connective tissues to stretch. And this is a process where you have to take time. So the positions in that style of yoga are 3 to 5 minutes in duration. And then we have mind and meditation. And that is actually one of, in my opinion, the most important aspects of overcoming pelvic floor dysfunction, because what you think impacts what manifests in your body. So if you don't understand how you're placing tension and stress in the body, then it becomes difficult for you to stop that pattern, because the thoughts are creating a pattern in your tissues. So if you can change the way that you're thinking about some things, that can really have a positive impact in what's going on in the body. So this is what the book is all about. Yes, those of you with prostates. So actually, it is worth mentioning that all of the exercises in the book are as applicable to the male as they are to the female. Now, the book was written for those without prostates, because obviously Empower Your Flower, it is very much focused on those without prostates. And I have at the start of the book, I have recommended Dr. Susie's book. So she has a wonderful book on the male pelvic floor. So it's worth having a look at that book. But all of the exercises that are in this book are useful for men as well. But if you're a guy and you buy this hoping to take a look and see what your pelvic floor looks like, you will be disappointed, because I show just the female pelvic floor. But when I go through the symptom management strategies, it is both for male and for female. So I do talk particularly about retention, which is more common in men than in women. And the book has over 200 research articles that are referenced, and many of them are relating to male dysfunction, and particularly when it comes to bladder issues and retention. The research tends to be more around the male genitals than around the females. So there's a little bit of, and for the, there's a lot of information in there that is useful for all bodies. So whether you're male, female, or non-binary, whatever you are, there's something in there, I would say, for you. But it has been very specifically written for women with pelvic floor dysfunction. So. Yes, the 20% off applies to the payment plan also. So that's worth noting. If you're going to buy the video course, there is an option to buy you can buy it once, and regardless of which option you choose, you have lifetime access. So if you buy it with the one-off payment, you get 20% off. If you buy it over, I think there's two options. One is over, I can't remember how many months, but there's two other options that allow you to make multiple smaller payments. You get the 20% off those as well. So once you sign up with the discount code, the discount is applied to the course. So that goes with it. Maybe it doesn't go without saying, but it's worth saying. The other thing is the coaching. So there is a package there that has one coaching session along with the video course. And if you sign up for that, you can use the 20% code. Right now, there is no 20% code on the coaching. I don't think. I can't actually remember. It's a little while since it was all set up. It was published yesterday, but I can't actually remember about that. But send me a little email and ask me. If you try to book and the code doesn't work, just shoot me an email and we'll have a wee look and see what we can do. So does anybody have any questions is the question. I think that's it. Time is, that really didn't take so long, did it? I don't know, should I tell anything else about the book? I mean, if you have pelvic floor dysfunction, or if you know somebody that has pelvic floor dysfunction, then I do believe that this will be helpful. It's a huge amount of information that's in there, covering treatments, symptoms, covering the body and how it works, and the 8-phase training. So I put all of the training in there. So also there are very many people who maybe don't have the finances to be able to pay for a video course, because the video course, the production, everything, it's not the cheapest course in the world. The book, you are able to get that at a very reasonable price, and it will give you all of the same information that you get on the video course. I mean, how do you learn? Do you learn by reading, or do you learn by watching videos and listening? If you buy the book, you get access to the audio meditations as well. That's worth noting. If you can listen to my voice and relax. I know some people can't. Sandra is asking, what is mesh? So mesh is polypropylene, and it is used to treat stress, incontinence, and pelvic organ prolapse. It's used for herniations usually, actually. They also use it in abdominal hernias. So if you've ever been to IKEA and you've seen one of those blue IKEA bags, well, the mesh is made from the same material as those blue IKEA bags, and it's like almost like a fishing wire that's knitted into a little mesh, and that is implanted into the body to support the urethra, and it can do quite a lot of damage. Now, when you understand how the body works, you will understand why it really doesn't make sense to put that into the body. It prevents things from moving that should be moving. And in my case, it created a fistula, so it created a hole, and it also tore into the neck of my bladder. It caused a severe amount of pain for 1.5 years, and I had to pay a very large amount of money to travel to the UK to get it removed. I had it implanted in Sweden. And if you read the book, you'll get to read all about that. I think it's very important that people understand mesh it really is not a good idea. And if you have mesh, 1 in every 10 women who have mesh will have problems. And if you have problems, I'm one of the lucky ones. I got away lightly because I managed to get it taken away. They were able to remove it all, and I was completely incontinent when they took it away. But I was able to get back to continence. Now, it took 18 months after they took that out for me to be continent again, but I was able to do it. There's many women who've had mesh implanted, and they're left in wheelchairs. They're left without a bladder, without a bowel. They've had even surgery that has removed the vagina, so obliterative surgery. There people have died. It's really not good. In my opinion, I would avoid mesh if at all possible. Of course, 9 in every 10 women are okay and they don't have issues. So it's up to you to decide what to do. I've tried to be impartial, which is very hard because I had such a very hard time with mesh, but I did try to be impartial, and I presented just exactly what the research says. And it is banned now in many countries, so maybe you won't be offered it. But if you have pelvic floor dysfunction and you're offered a surgery, regardless of what your pelvic floor dysfunction is, you should work on a conservative approach diligently for at least 18 months before you consider surgery, because the improvements that you can make when you put the work in can be very dramatic. So it really makes sense that you try to overcome the dysfunction. And if I'm not your teacher, if the words that I use and the language and the way that I express things and the exercises that I offer, if you feel that they're not right for you, find another teacher. There's so many, like Dr. Bree is amazing. She has a wonderful book. She's also on YouTube. Actually, in the back of the book, I've put a whole list of different people that you can go to. If you have pelvic floor dysfunction, do something about it. Go see someone and talk about it. I think the most important thing is that we start to talk about these things. If we don't talk about these things, we're not going to break the taboo. And I am on a mission. We are going to break the taboo. I really, really hope that we're going to do it. Okay, I hope that answers your question. It has been a very long week. I am going to finish up early. I will be getting back to my usual YouTube programming in a couple of weeks. I'm just in a really tiny apartment at the minute, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to, I can't roll a mat out here, but I'm moving into a new apartment in a few weeks, and at that point, I'll be back to doing regular videos. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about the book, about the video course, about coaching, just send send me a message on either through one of the two websites or on Denise@theflowerempowered.com. And I hope to see you all very soon back here on YouTube.